What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the jungle. As always, we're brought to you here by the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the Riverfront. As usual, I'm your host, Joe Farsing. Below me is my usual co-pilot, Parker Fields. And next to us is my original co-host, thrown back to the original old days of, a year and a half ago?
Something like that. Welcome to the jungle. I thought this was the 4th of July drinking competition.
I am equipped.
Talking foosball? All right, well, fine.
We talking some of that foosball. You look like you just got off the set of the third Top Gun movie.
That's what I was about to say.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I didn't say what part you were playing, but you were the guy out there oiling up the guys for volleyball.
Greasing up the beefcakes.
Oh Lord, we're already off to a great.
Joe, you're muted.
All right, Parker, me and you. Joe just fired himself.
Yeah, Joe just muted himself.
All right, so technical difficulties. This is the cross we bear. These live shows.
Yeah, exactly. Once the technical difficulties come in, then there's nothing you can do about it. But you want me to just go over the news and notes real quick? Just what's going on
rock and roll.
In football? I mean, nothing's really going on across Bengals world right now. Training camp dates, rookies come in July 20th, veterans come in July 23rd, and that's really all there is to say because T. Higgins just signed last week. We talked about it last week. He's locked and loaded for the season, and then there's really nothing else going on in Bengals country right now.
We're back. Hey,
there's one.
We went through the news and notes real quick.
That took all 30 seconds. Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one thing to ask you guys. It's I'm not quite as in deep with the Bengals as you all are. But the one thing that's on my mind is what is going on with Joe Burrow's hair? Is he auditioning for the lead of a Dashboard Confessional cover band?
He's got like the same hair I got going on right now, honestly. He's just got it like
one side just long and over there. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, he's handsome as can be.
Yeah. It definitely has the emo look going. I just saw the pictures of, I guess it was team photo day. Last year he had a little bit longer locks, and then he jacked up his calf and went back to his normal hairstyle. So I guess he's chancing it. He still, at some point he'll end up with the same hairstyle that Nate and I have because that's what happens. But
it's coming for you too, Parker.
Yeah, pretty soon here.
Parker's got he's got a little bit longer than even Joey B. So if you have it, rock it, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, rock it while you can.
So hey, that's our news and notes for this week.
All right.
Joe Burrow still rocking the long flow. That's our news and notes.
All right. We have, today's the 3rd, so we have almost 3 weeks until vets get there. So, and I'll be out of town because I plan things really well. When you host a football show, you start your vacation when camp starts.
Listen,
that is
commitment.
That is professional. We went out of town the day on day 2 of the draft as well. That's why I did a couple shorts from Disney World. So.
I'm sure the missus was thrilled.
She didn't care. She held she was going to hold the camera for a couple of them. She was drunk. Ooh. We were all drunk. Yeah, we don't care. Anything to get me to talk to sports to somebody that isn't her, she is down for it.
100%. You got to fill that need. You got to talk to
sports at all times. She's the only one legally obligated to listen to you.
Yeah,
pretty much. So, hey, are you guys excited for the draft?
I'm excited for the draft. It's my my return to the podcast. I'm not qualified to speak in depth about a lot of these things, but I can draft.
Yeah.
You know who else? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited to draft, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Lions, all those great franchises with my first 3 picks.
Absolutely. There was supposed to be 4 of us. Good friend of the show, Strawberry Ice, unfortunately had his dog unfortunately got sick and had to be unfortunately put down. So Jeff, I feel for you. I understand. Like that's absolutely sucky, shitty. And, but sending best thoughts and vibes over to the west side of Cincinnati for you guys. So I get it.
And anybody listening to this wants to send some positivity and kind words over to Strawberry Ice, by all means. He could use them right now.
Tim, shut your pile. If you're not going to come here on the show, then you're not allowed to make comments here.
Then just shows up booing, bringing the energy already. So he drafts Philly, apparently.
Do you know who's really – we're excited. Do you know who else is really excited?
I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Jessie Spano. Jessie Spano is excited, and she's scared because she knows that she would not be able to do as well as the three of us could in drafting. Quick background. Basically, we're just doing an all-time NFL franchise draft. You get one team's entire history, where they are in the present, and where you think they're going to go in the future. 32 franchises. 4 people would have worked out really, really well. 8 choices per. We're just going to do 10 rounds each and screw the last 2 teams because if you
nobody has to draft the Browns, we're good.
Right, exactly. And you suck. See, here's the problem, though. There are teams that are like historical rivals and current rivals for the Bengals that unfortunately they have to get picked pretty high, right?
Yeah.
And no one's happy about it, which sucks ass, but I mean, it's where we are. So
I'm making my choices based on the quality of the stadium food.
Well, how much experience do you have? So let me ask you that. If you're doing it based on the quality of the food.
Well, I'm going to use my good friends on the interwebs to help me out with this one.
I mean,
Joe, we should mention real quick, the draft this week is brought to us by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, if you don't know what that is, well, what bridge you been hiding under? If you go on there, you buy your tickets. They make it easy as can be. Red means bad deal. Green means good deal. And if you use code word Riverfront, all one word, you get $20 off your first purchase. It's free money, people. You're going to the game anyway. It doesn't even have to be a game. It could be a concert. You can use it for the next leg of the Eras Tour in North Korea. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to watch, SeatGeek's got tickets. And thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring the draft.
That's Taylor Swift's tour. Joe.
Oh, I misunderstood what you said. So, okay, I got you.
I was going to be proud of you for not knowing.
I'm not a Swiftie. So the community pool that we belong to here, they had karaoke night last Friday. And mostly it's just a bunch of girls, my daughter among them, that were doing karaoke. 3/4 of the songs were Taylor Swift songs. And it was awful. Thankfully, the speakers weren't loud. And thankfully, my daughter did not sing a Taylor Swift song. I don't know what song she sung. She did great. But outside of that, yay for no Taylor Swift.
And you wonder why our 18 to 35-year-old female demographic is not really tuning into your show.
See, here's the thing. I have zero problems with Taylor Swift. Like her music is fine. Like it's fine, whatever. Like it's not my cup of tea, but it's the fact that that's all anybody listens to. Like there's so many different types of music, so many different genres. I mean, there's even like I don't think rock is still a thing anymore, unfortunately. But I mean, there's still good hip hop and people still listen to country for whatever reasons. But everyone just listens to Tay-Tay.
Hip hop beefs are back. That's pretty awesome.
Is it though, or is it just one-sided? Because I think it's kind of just it's kind of just one-sided.
Well, here's a question for the crew. Did not football related at all? Did Drake or Kendrick Lamar end Drake's career?
No.
Did Drake ever? I mean, it's the first time he did not have a top 30 hit in like 11 years or something. You think he's going to have a comeback? Do you think he needs to go do Degrassi again to like rekindle this flame?
Nah, I think Drake 100% will be fine. Like, I mean, what he said in his raps and stuff, like his diss on Kendrick, like, honestly, a lot of it was accurate. Like, all their number one songs is Drake featured on them. Every one of their number one songs, Drake featured on them. Like,
Parker sounds like he's Team Drake.
I'm 100% Team Drake. I just like his music.
Goodness.
I can't really answer this one. I need to ask Cam because he's the hip hop guy, but Cam is pretty squarely. I know he's on Team Kendrick, so he would probably say yes. Plus the fact he's Canadian. I mean, the only other Canadian rapper that I can think of is Snow.
Snow,
exactly. The white Rastafarian from Toronto, which is what a bunch of contradictions.
Which, if we're being honest, he's probably the only hip hop artist I'm qualified to speak on.
You dressed like him, didn't you? You had that nice tight fade. You know Actually, you would have been pretty young when he came out.
Just old enough for that song to have an impression. All right.
Anyway,
we haven't gotten off the rails because we never got on.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, Oliver, we're on the train now. Okay, we did do a quick random order generator. Parker's got the first pick. Parker, why don't you lead us off? Pick your first choice for the all-time NFL franchise draft.
So, honestly, I didn't think this was going to be the first pick, but they honestly have the best history. They're tied for the most Super Bowls. They have the most Super Bowl appearances. So, give me the New England Patriots as the first pick. They were obviously a lot of their success came in the last 25 years with Tom Brady on the roster, but still, overall, they have the most Super Bowl appearances and tied for the most wins. So, give me the Patriots.
It's crazy where they are in terms of how many appearances. I mean, 11 appearances, and they had 2 before Tom Brady got there. They were not a successful franchise at all. They had a little bit of success in the 70s. They made the Super Bowl in '85 where they just absolutely steamrolled by the historic Bears defense. And then in '94, they 94, no. I can't remember. I can't remember the other year. But this was not a good franchise. They were pretty underwater. And then Drew Bledsoe gets knocked out of a game, and all of a sudden they're like the best franchise or the best dynasty of any of the 4 sports over the past 20 years.
Well, according to my rankings, they are the 28th best food. So not really a value play there.
They must not like the clam chowder. I mean, they are.
It's cold up there. Some clam chowder, maybe a lobster roll.
Yeah. I don't do seafood, so I don't care.
I don't like seafood either. I'm with you.
It's the cold, the awful accents. Like, no, you can have them where you pock the call. You think you're better than me? No.
Joe's trying to offend an entire region of the U.S. I love it. That's a solid first pick, Parker. I don't think there's any disputing that. You could have gone a couple different directions, but I think that's the same play.
I have looked at our analytics, and we don't get a whole lot of people from the Northeast, so I'm pretty safe to say I don't think we're going to lose. We might lose Bob. I think Bob up in Maine might stop listening to us, but Bob, we still love you. Don't go too far.
All right, am I up second?
No, you are not up second.
I'm third.
You are third, but you get the snake pick. So, I'm going with probably the most hated team in the NFL. The Cowboys. It's and Tim or Nate, I hate to do it. They're in your backyard now. I was a fan of theirs for a few weeks in the 90s when they had Dion. Like, they were really cool, but they have the best all-time winning percentage. They have 5 Super Bowls. I mean, tied for the second most amount. They're never poor for a long time. Yeah, that's their current team is good but not great. I don't think they've got any prospects of winning the Super Bowl in the next handful of years, but they've been around since 1960, and they've got more championships than most of the teams in the league that have been around a lot longer than they have. So
it's America's team, and you got America's team. You got the cheerleaders because you're drafting the brand too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Also get the stadium the first weekend. So I just moved to Dallas about a month and a half ago for work, and my wife's job actually. She's a gangster lady. Our first weekend, we go to the rodeo, World Bull Riding or Professional Bull Riding World Finals at the Cowboy Stadium. Jerry comes out, gets booed by the locals. Thought that was interesting. But then he brings out the Cowboy cheerleaders. They did not get booed. My wife's watching their show on Netflix right now.
My mom's been watching that.
Yeah. So, Joe, you got a whole multimedia empire with that pick.
All right, Nate, your turn for your first.
2 in a row. So my first one is pretty easy, though. I think our Cincinnati faithful may not love it. I'm going to need you to give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I think they could have made an argument for 1 or 2 with these guys. They've got the history. They've got the not so distant past. They are the most stable franchise. They 3 head coaches in their entire history. Mike
That's
Tomlin.
crazy.
Not quite. Just that since like 71 or 72. They've been around since the 30s.
The modern era, the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
era.
yeah, yeah.
No, we don't talk about before that. Get out of here. Yeah, Mike Tomlin just never has a record underneath 500. And if they can catch lightning at a bottle one time, they could be good in the future. I don't see it in the next couple of years until they get Justin Fields learns how to throw the ball accurately. But easy pick. Give me the Steelers. That was as far as
I was going to say the caveat that I have with them is before 1972, they were shitty. Like the first 40 years of their franchise, they were awful. So and like again, I'm including their entire, like your entire history. So championships. I mean, they were in the league for what 35 years before Super Bowl started, and they were never in the playoffs. Or I'm sorry, they made the playoffs in 1947, and that was it until Chuck Noll took over, and it took Chuck Noll 4 years to make the playoffs. But yeah, if you're talking modern NFL, if you're talking modern, then yeah, they are the stable gold standard. Yeah, they're tied now with some teams for 6 titles, but yeah, I mean they've won in the 70s, one in the 90s, one in the 2000s. So I mean they're always there.
They withstood having Cordell Stewart as their quarterback, and that's tough.
Slash.
All right, so I get the wraparound pick here. This comes down to 2, and it's pretty tough for me, but I'm going to go with the one that hasn't, as far as I know, employed a quarterback who eventually went on to send dick pics. So I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers for my next pick. Got the history, got the pedigree. The present looks pretty darn good too. No matter how you feel about Shanahan and Brock Purdy, the team is in the Super Bowl last year. They probably should have won it. They probably should have 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. I think that they got a good shot. They're probably one of the betting favorites this year coming up, and that's my team. Not really my team. It's my draft team. So my real team.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pick there. 100%. That 49ers pick is awesome. That's a great value pick there. I got to give you some credit, Nate. That could have been the first or second pick, honestly, too.
Thank you.
Especially we're talking about the Cowboys. Like the 49ers are a big brand, too, as well. So that's a good pick there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's Nate is making all the Bengals fans pissed off. You've got their
he's got the
rival
Steelers
the Steelers and the Niners, the team that the Bengals have just never been able to get over historically, and the team that's beaten them in 2 of the 3 Super Bowls that they've participated in. So send all your hate mail at NC Dotson 32 on the Twitters, on the X's, team at riverfrontcincy.com. Send them all that way.
Speaking of which, I hate that. I still call it Twitter.
Right,
I'm never calling it X.
I mean, when I type Twitter into my browser,
it
takes
same.
me to X, so I'm good. Twitter's fine.
All right.
I think Elon did a poll a couple weeks ago. It's like, who actually still calls it Twitter? And it was like 97% of people.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting a steal right here at this spot, number 5. Going with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Title town, Lambeau. I mean, they have 4 Super Bowls. They have 13 total championships if you look over the entire history. I mean, they've been good since the early. I mean, they won the first 3 championships in the NFL in the entire history of the NFL. So they've won titles in the 30s, 40s, 60s, 90s, and 2000s. And since 1991, they've had 3 starting quarterbacks. You go from Brett Favre, who has sent dick pics and is a dick, to Aaron Rodgers, who is a dick, to Jordan Love, who seems like a lovely
by all
fellow.
accounts seems
a lovely fellow. Stay on the straight and narrow because you're following in a but in terms of just winning, I mean he looks like another long-term solution to quarterback. And as that season wore on last year, like guy looks legit. Like same thing as Rodgers sat on the bench probably a little too long, but steps in and he looks like he's going to be a long-time starter in this league, and they've got a good team built around them, and they know what they're doing. Like the organization is a solid organization that knows how to win.
Do you think after like 10 years of playing in that weather, like a shining situation happens and you just start to go a little bit crazy. And next thing you know, you're taking ayahuasca.
I was going to say ayahuasca retreats.
Distinct possibility.
Yeah, maybe Jordan Love year 10 just goes insane. Around age 33, he just goes nuts.
To be fair, I mean, he
demanded trade at 8.
To be fair, he played in North Dakota, so. I mean, that's
from the cold.
You're even. I mean, you're probably. I think that's even further north than Green Bay, or at least you don't get the lake effect snow, but still crappy enough weather.
Now, this is where it kind of falls off a little bit. This is definitely where it falls off a little bit.
This is where your research comes in here.
Yeah, but I think I have a good pick. I have a little big board here, and I'm going to go with the Giants. They have 4 Super Bowl wins, 5 appearances. I mean, they're one of the old 721 wins. Yeah, one of the top 5 in wins in NFL history. So I'm going to go with the Giants there.
That's tough. Now you have Eli on your team, and that's a
very efficient. Win 80% of their Super Bowl appearances. So very efficient team.
Is it sacrilege for you to have both the Giants and the Patriots?
A little bit, but
you're hedging your bet. You're hedging your bet.
You have the Bengals rivals on your roster.
That's true.
So. And then my next pick here, this one's a lot tougher because it's even more of a drop-off, honestly. But this pick is for the whole history. I'm going to go with the Eagles. They had 3 titles before the Super Bowl era. They have a Super Bowl, and it's a huge, massive brand. Like Philadelphia is an awesome city, so I want the Eagles on mine. So I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah,
they are one of the few of, like, I don't want to say original because they started a few years after the league started. They have a below 500 record in team history. Now they'll probably within 2 years. I mean, they're 624 and 636, but yeah, in terms of current and future, like they're well set up. They have a young quarterback. They have young around them, and obviously they've been successful the last handful of years. So no real complaints. Plus, you're leaving some meat on the bone for me to next. So, Nate, any thoughts?
No, you're good. You nailed it.
I
didn't do the research you did, so I'm trying to figure out who my next picks are.
My research was literally listing them all on the sheet that I sent to you, and then pulling up the Pro Football Reference page. So,
my research is a big board 1 to 10.
Do got to shout out Parker a little bit though. Cheesesteak, always it's an evergreen dish. You're always going to be happy with cheesesteak.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fans are nuts, but they're entertaining. And the team, pretty decent present. Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, and you got to like Jalen Hurts, good receivers. That's a good pick.
I mainly picked this for the vibe. I like the city of Philadelphia. Like, I think being a Philadelphia fan seems kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
listen, we are 5s only on this podcast.
Yeah, they're nuts. So I'm gonna go Philadelphia there.
We don't want too much actual reasoning and deep thought, so it's kind of just throw shit against the wall. I don't care.
It's a holiday, baby.
Exactly. Parker, do you have a cold beverage in front of you?
I don't.
Oh, man. I need to work on that.
I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. This one, I'm going to steal Nate's thunder and pick a team that's going to piss everyone off. Baltimore Ravens. They've only been around technically since 1996, since the league treats them as an expansion franchise. They have the 3rd best winning percentage in league history. They have 2 Super Bowl titles. Obviously, they have the 2-time NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens. They've been pretty much outside of the first couple crappy years when they first moved. They were bad, and then they've been really, really good ever since. So, and they have Joe Flacco. They made a Super Bowl winner out of Joe Flacco and Trent Dilfer. So they can do some magic. They can pull some magic out of their ass.
Here, I'll be right back 1 second. I'm going to go grab a cold beverage for you guys.
There we go.
Yeah, they'll pull some magic out of their ass. They need to get that rabbit foot out of Joe Flacco's. I think he finally got that dislodged because that playoff run was pretty incredible. I think it's a pretty good pick. I hate the Ravens. They're probably my least favorite NFL team. But it's because they're so good.
Yeah.
They're always competent.
Well run.
Stable head coach. Those games are always vicious. The teams are vicious. Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. So do I have 2 in a row now?
You get back to back.
All right. Well, I got to continue my theme, and being the anti-fan, and I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's got to be done. I mean, what else is there to say? They've got the Super Bowls. What do they have? 4 Super Bowls.
Yep.
They've got maybe the best quarterback to ever play the game. I would argue probably the most talented, and we'll see in a few years if he can take the GOAT leap.
You're talking Dave Craig, right?
Dave Craig, for sure. Yeah. Talking about John Elway.
Late career Joe Montana, some Steve Bono.
Joe Montana, that's what I meant.
Warren Moon played there for a little bit.
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, better coach than he is a father. He keeps his house in order in Arrowhead or Burrowhead Stadium. Give me the Chiefs, man. I hate
solid pick. I mean, I can't argue the logic.
All right, so I got another one coming up, and none of these are fun now for me. So I'm gonna wing it a little bit. Not really. I'll go chalk. I'm gonna go Denver Broncos. I mean,
you just pull your brother's strategy out and just do the most absurd shit out there.
Start naming USFL teams.
The Dayton.
Joe, who was your pick?
Baltimore. The Ravens.
Okay.
Go with the Ravens. Yeah. So
I've got them highlighted on. Yeah, I've got them highlighted on red on the.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Denver. 522 win percentages, 8 Super Bowl appearances, which is pretty rad. 3 wins. As a franchise, we are collectively blacking out the Russell Wilson era. That never happened. It's like Rocky V. We're looking forward to the future. Sean Payton, I don't know. He might be the coaching version of Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. But the John Elway era made it all worth it.
They were fun. I always liked them. Even in the well, first off, they pissed off the Browns because they beat them in 2 AFC Championship games in the 80s. So, as always, fuck the Browns. Yeah, I was like, I pulled for them, and the NFC had a crazy long winning streak in Super Bowls until Elway was able to pull the first one out. And then, I didn't even mind them going back to back because they beat the Dirty Birds, the Falcons, in the second Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'm okay with that pick.
I'm just saying, I am working y'all in this draft.
Okay.
It's about to be ugly, though.
Yeah, it goes downhill. You're looking either at ancient history or you're looking at or teams that are good now that sucked ass for most of their history.
No, the draft is starting to get shitty. I'm not gonna lie. My big board is gone pretty much, so now I'm just looking at these teams. I'm like, ugh.
I'm gonna start trading draft picks to Parker.
Trade for a future draft on the podcast.
Yeah. Is it protected though?
Can we get a pick swap, Nate?
I love it.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Yeah, love it.
Their present and future looks kind of crappy, but they're a legitimate franchise, man. They were better than the Packers in the non-Super Bowl era. They have, or at least as good as the Packers in the non-Super Bowl era. They had the 4th best winning percentage in league history. Second most wins right behind the Packers, 799 to 793, 9 championships, only 1 Super Bowl win. Again, the most dominant defense that this planet has ever seen in the 85 Bears. That defense was so good. The team carried Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator, off the field, after the win. How many have you ever seen a team take carry the defensive coordinator off the field?
No.
That's how good that team was. So, suck it. I know they're pretty shitty now. Caleb Williams, I'm
the only one who thinks they might be kind of plucky this year.
They've got some talent at wide receiver, but I don't think Caleb Williams was the guy. I'm on Team Jaden Daniels.
How mad do you think Justin Fields is? As soon as I leave, you get all the receivers.
Not just that. The fact that he definitely would have been their quarterback likely if they just didn't trade for DJ Moore and got the Panthers pick. If the Panthers didn't suck, he would still be the quarterback there.
Yeah.
That's the shit. Because he wasn't even that bad last year. It wasn't as bad as he definitely got better. So
That's actually a good point because the end of this draft only gets exciting because we see if anybody gets stuck with the Panthers.
somebody's likely gonna, take a shot at the Panthers here. There's some shitty teams left.
I mean,
Here's
the
the
Panthers at least have. I mean, they've only been around for this is their 30th season, and they've been in 2 Super Bowls. So,
Whoever drafts the Panthers has to watch all of their games this year, start to finish.
sorry, I'm busy. I can't pick them. All right.
All right, so who's up?
Me. All right,
Parker with
so
2?
I'm gonna go with the Commanders. Kind of shocked. I didn't even realize they had 5 Super Bowl appearances. To be honest, what year? It's like the 70s.
70s and 80s.
I was about to say, not my lifetime at all. But yeah, I saw they have 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 wins, 2 pre-Super Bowl championships. So, I mean, overall, a pretty solid franchise. Definitely the best value available here, probably. And then my second pick, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. 5 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins. Obviously, had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on the roster. My dad claims if he would have won a Super Bowl or 2, probably would have been considered the GOAT. But Dan Marino.
Oh, Dan Marino. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was my dad's favorite quarterback.
Quick note about the Commanders. They are another team that is, despite being around for the almost the entire length of the NFL, are under 500. Unlike the Eagles, who have a chance of getting out from under that, I think the Commanders are probably going to stay under 500 as a franchise for a foreseeable time. At least they are out from under the shadow that is little General Dan Snyder. So they got that going for them.
Yeah.
Both of those picks are kind of fun for the
Dolphins are sneaky good. I mean, that's when you look at their winning percentage, and yeah, they haven't been as good as they were in the 70s and 80s and even some of the 90s, but definitely a good value pick at this point in the draft.
Yeah, it's definitely a shockingly good franchise. I don't think you'd expect.
Yeah,
and I don't think you're going to hate your time down in Miami when you're scouting the squad.
What was the kicker from Ace Ventura that missed the field goal?
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel. That's what it was.
Finkel is Einhorn. Okay.
Let's see where the Dolphins ended up in the food rankings because you think Miami, that's gonna be pretty good.
Probably.
A lot of Cuban influence. I mean, I'd probably
18th, not great, but Parker number one was Lincoln. So you do
good value pick there.
This is food at the stadiums and not food at the not just food in the city. Period.
Yeah, food at the stadium, not food in the city.
Okay.
Well, I do gotta say, you gotta take price into account too. I'm sure Miami beer is probably like $22 for a beer in Miami.
True, yeah.
That's like 13 at a Bengals game.
They're drinking martinis in the sun.
Yeah, espresso martinis.
Yeah. I have 2 options here. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Oh, I was hoping they'd fall.
Yeah. I mean, didn't really do a ton in their history outside of literally moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis in the middle of the night, 1984, before Manning, but they're above 500 record. They've got 2 Super Bowl titles. They've got 2 titles before the NFL merger. So I think it's a good value pick at this point.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you got an insane owner, which is always fun.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
All right, so I guess I'm up here for 2 in a row. I am going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. And here is why. They have a fun coach. They have a fun style of play. They got good receivers. They won a Super Bowl recently. I hate the fact that they beat our beloved Cincinnati in the Super Bowl.
I figured that was the clincher for why you picked them.
The way this draft's gone, you'd think so.
Yeah. You think he hates the Bengals.
I'm picking them because they are, of the remaining teams available, according to Forbes, the highest valued, the number 3 most valuable, worth a tidy $6.9 billion. So I'm getting the LA weather. I'm getting the money. I don't care if the fans don't care. Give me the Rams.
Like that pick.
All right.
And they left St. Louis, and I support making St. Louis people sad.
I wholeheartedly agree.
All
right. Well, I got to pick again here. Who we got?
There's one team that has not been taken. I'm kind of shocked.
Jaguars.
Looking at it.
Get Jaggy with the Jaguars.
So I'm going to go with another
Panthers.
team that's had some
Texans.
less than stellar recently. Give me the formerly Oakland, currently Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that's the team I was like, how did we – I should have taken them, honestly.
They're just kind of disgusting, but they got the Super Bowls. They got dudes that dress like weirdos.
They got the brand. For sure they
Got the brand. And I want to see where they pop up in the food rankings. I would think it's got to be pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Vegas. Let's see here. Number 7. I got the number 7 food stadium at this point in the draft. You can't argue with that value.
That's elite value right there.
Not too bad. All right. I'm going with one that's – I'm going with the Vikings. 4 Super Bowl appearances, 0 championships, but in terms of win-loss percentage, in terms of impact, Skull Vikings and suck it. Rings are overrated. I say that because I'm a Bengals fan and we don't have shit.
We don't want them.
Right. Playing the underdog is better than being the favorite, right?
Exactly.
I got to tell you, it's a bad day to be from the NFC South. It's a bad day to be a fan of the NFC South.
Yeah, that division's terrible.
We've only picked one team from the AFC South.
Yeah, it wasn't for the Colts.
Yeah. And they shouldn't be in the South. They're further north than half the teams, maybe 3/4 of the teams in the North.
I was legit questioning myself when I just said the Colts were in the South. I'm like, wait a second, that can't be right.
It's idiotic, but depending on them or Pittsburgh, they might be further north than all but one team in the North.
Ridiculous. All right.
Roger Goodell hates geography.
Wow, the Falcons are a terrible franchise.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
I don't think of them being that bad, but they're terrible.
Yeah,
they are. So let's see here. Parker, P. Diddy, you got 2 in a row?
Yep.
I think you just called a shot at the Falcons.
I'm taking this pick. And
that's what I heard. You said it. You said it. No, we're locking it in.
No.
It's my show. It's the Falcons.
This franchise has the worst winning percentage of all time, but they have 2 Super Bowl wins in 2 appearances.
The Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
Wow.
They have 2 Super Bowl wins. I'm going to value the Super Bowl wins. They have the worst winning percentage, but hell. And they had Tom Brady, so.
That's why they have one of the Super Bowl wins. It's because Brady wanted to retire somewhere nice. That's where all old white people go is Florida.
And then screw it. I'm taking the Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Oh, you dog. I was hoping they'd fall.
Give me my squad. Good future. We'll have a Super Bowl ring, hopefully, in my lifetime.
Look at this. Yeah, Bengals are below 500. You take away the 90s, and they're right around 500 for their history. They were 344 and 363 if you take away the entire decade of the 90s. Now the 90s happened, the 90s happened, and they were god awful to be a fan, but they aren't the worst franchise. That's when we can say that, and they're far, they're in the middle of the draft. So hey, I'm okay with that.
He said they're not the worst franchise. We can say that. We can say that with confidence.
All right. I guess it's my turn again then, isn't it? Let me catch up on I'm gonna go with Seattle Seahawks. They have 3 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win. I mean, they're still technically one of the newer franchises, just started in '76, same as the Buccaneers. Again, they're pretty well run. They've got now, I don't know where they're going in the future. They've got new guys at the top with Mike McDonald, but I always liked them when they were back in the old AFC West, way back in the day when they had Chris Warren, Broussard, Warren Moon, Steve Largent. Like, they had some dudes. They were a fun team to watch in the 80s. So I will proudly take the 12th man in Seattle.
Like, I blacked out the Russell Wilson era. And
I didn't even mention his name. Completely ignored his name.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick at this point. I mean, they've been relevant now for 15 years, it seems like.
And Christ, NFL MVP and Ben's cousin, Sean Alexander.
Yeah, went to my high school.
Shout out to Ben. We're not shouting out Sean. He doesn't watch this show. We'll shout out Ben.
Ben's on the beach, I think. So
Ben is
I tried to get him late minute, and Nate said he's on the beach, so that doesn't help. I doubt he's watching.
That's a pretty good alternative.
You don't think he's sitting on the beach watching us right now?
I would hope not. If you are,
All
I
right.
appreciate it, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got 2 picks in a row, and I'll be honest with you, I don't want to make them. It is ugly now, so I guess I'm going to go Saints.
Yeah.
Because I got a Super Bowl. I have the Drew Brees era, which was a lot of fun. Now I have 2 franchises that have employed Sean Payton, so I got a continuity factor here. I don't know about the stadium food. I'll take a look at that, but the city food is awesome. I've got Mardi Gras. I've got some dope oysters down there, surprisingly. Number four food stadium.
Okay. Super Bowl is going to be down there this year.
Probably the greatest pick of the draft. New Orleans is a dope city. New Orleans is awesome.
I've never
That
been
is
there.
true.
Oh my gosh, you got to go. You got to go.
I've been once, but I would like to go like
must.
as an actual adult. I would like to go to New Orleans as an adult, but I went when I was like a teenager.
I just worry just walking down there, you automatically get hepatitis. And I don't know why. It might just be an irrational fear of mine, but it just feels like the air is just heavy with hepatitis. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that's incorrect, but it's worth it. You just get a little hep.
Have you all ever seen when WrestleMania was in New Orleans and people on the street were just like doing fake wrestling all down the street and stuff? It's a hilarious video. It's so
No,
funny.
but we need to bring that into the next episode.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hilarious.
Sounds like we need to do a Riverfront live show in New Orleans. People will be very confused.
I'm game. That'll be my first time. We're going there for the Super Bowl. When the Bengals are there, we're going to do a live show on location, remote. We're there.
Love it.
Yeah, people would care then.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
should go when the Saints play on like on a Saturday. Saints play the next day versus like the Falcons. We show up and we're talking Bengals Colts.
What the hell are these guys doing here? We're just doing a remote, man. We got things to do. I love it.
Oh my
Call
god.
the travel agent.
All right, so I got one more pick, guys. There is only one franchise remaining, if I'm not mistaken, that has a Super Bowl victory. And quite simply, I refuse to take them. So I am going to go with the lovable losers. Give me those Buffalo Bills.
Damn you.
I've got the appearances.
I think that's the best pick on the board still.
We got 4 Super Bowl appearances. It's been pretty bleak otherwise. Until recently, the Josh Allen era has been fun. He's just a fun guy to root for. He's probably my second favorite quarterback in the NFL behind our boy Joe. I'm not saying he's the second best or anything, just my second favorite to watch. And, I like chicken wings. So we got that going for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like interesting stories about people trying to, the fans coming together to
fan base is
snow.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I get the good karma, the good mojo, the good vibes from a recovered DeMar Hamlin.
You also get guys suplexing each other through tables, flaming tables at tailgates.
Who doesn't want that?
That's how about a little spinal cord injury with your pregame?
Yeah, I'd love to tailgate in Buffalo.
All right.
I would like to tailgate in Buffalo in October at the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
There are some absolute dregs that were left with.
No, it's gross now. It's gross. I was happy that Buffalo
Yeah,
hadn't been picked
really
yet. It's
gross.
Buffalo's the only team that didn't make me want to throw up in my mouth.
I'm going strictly with the city vibe. I'm going with the Falcons. I mentioned the Dirty Bird before. Andre Rison and Left Eye burning his house down. Primetime Deion Sanders. Yeah. Michael Vick.
TLC reference.
Michael Vick has the dog in him, or did until he reformed. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. I mean, yeah, they're a very nondescript. Outside, I mean, they were fun with Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan had an amazing year. Took him to a Super Bowl.
Julio Jones was dope.
Yeah, Julio Jones. I mean, that was the other side of the
Julio
coin.
Jones.
AJ Green.
Julio Jones was dope. It's what we're saying for why to draft the Falcons. It's hilarious.
Arthur Smith's a turd, but he's gone now.
Yeah, exactly.
I employ Arthur Smith now. Shoot.
I have nothing else to say about them. Atlanta's a pretty dope city, so go Rave or go. God, I can't even remember the team that I just picked. Go Falcons.
I mean, I guess I'll go with the Jets. They have a Super Bowl win, so give me the Jets.
Did it. Gross.
Jets.
Oh man,
gross. Give me the Jets.
Somebody had to do it.
This pick is gross, but give me the Browns. Give me the Browns.
No,
they have a winning all time, and they have 4 championships pre-Super Bowl era. The rest of these teams have never done anything, so give me the Browns.
Whoa! I honestly did not expect them to get drafted at all. This is the shock of the draft.
Nate, they're the 1950 champions of the league. 54.
How could you pass that up?
They haven't won. Nate, you were born in '89, weren't you?
85. Thank you.
85. That's what I meant. So you have at least 2 of us have been alive for them to win a division title. They haven't won the division since 1989.
No, the only win I've ever seen from them in the playoffs was Baker Mayfield in 2020.
Yeah, unfathomable. I mean, they've at least been in the playoffs a couple times lately, and they've got a solid team. If Deshaun Watson doesn't screw everything up, I'm happy to assume that he will. Yeah, he can just go get fucked.
Their fans dress like dogs sometimes, so that's weird.
See that, and that's what I think is hilarious. Their team is named after their owner. Their mascot is an elf, and yet mascot is also a bulldog. Like in the dog pound. I don't. They have an identity problem, and it makes 0 sense. So, yeah, screw those guys.
Can't believe you did it. Can't believe you did it, Parker.
Just because you picked the Browns, I'm going to go ahead and say, hell with you guys and go with the Detroit Lions. They have 4 championships. They haven't won a championship since 1957.
These teams we're talking about are god awful.
I think that's a good pick, man. The rest of this is gross. The Lions are super fun right now.
But they're fun as hell, and 67 years is long enough. Let's Bengals Lions Super Bowl in New Orleans.
And
let's
battle it out.
Fucking go.
2 fan bases desperate.
That's when we do the live.
I still think it's hilarious. The Julio was dope. That's a reason for him. That's how bad the Falcons have been.
And plus, I mean, the Lions, you look at just individual players, and who is the greatest running back of my lifetime? Barry Sanders. Greatest wide receiver of any of our lifetimes, Calvin Johnson. And they played for the Lions, so boom, there you go.
This is true.
They also played Rodney Peete.
Julio's got a little bit of an argument.
I think Megatron, I think, was better when you look at.
Yeah, 100%. He was better. But I was going to say, Julio's probably the second best of my lifetime, honestly.
You're defending my previous pick, the Falcons, because of Julio.
Julio was dope. We've established this.
All right. Nate, continue with our cavalcade of crap.
It's the poo-poo platter pick.
Yes.
I'm going to go reluctantly with the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't want them. I'm going to try to trade them later. But we had Antonio Gates. We had LaDainian Tomlinson, I think. Phillip Rivers has like 14 kids. So we got the next generation of Chargers players. I don't know, man. All these teams stink, and at least this one's in Los Angeles.
Solid pick.
What do you got for the next one?
Oh, shoot. I got to pick again. I forgot we're on this podcast. I don't have to say shoot.
No.
Oh, crap.
Cuss it up.
Oh, rats.
We're pick 28, by the way, guys. This is the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. This is riveting content, no doubt. All right. You know what? I am a masochist. I know what I'm signing myself up for here. It's 18 weeks of misery.
Making the Jags.
Give me those Panthers, baby.
Oh,
Enjoy watching Bryce Young for 18 weeks, man.
I didn't say I have to root for him. I just have to watch him. So your boy's going to be getting on FanDuel and dropping some cash on whoever the Panthers are playing every game this season. The Cam Newton era was fun. I got Jake Delhomme, who threw a lot of interceptions. I got nothing good to say. Steve Smith was rad. Loves to.
They went 15-1 that one year with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Won MVP.
And they still lost.
Peyton Manning with one noodle arm.
All right. Going to my last pick in this 10th round. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans / Tennessee Oilers / Houston Oilers. Titans are pretty much hot garbage outside of making the Super Bowl in '99, but the Oilers were always a good team. Warren Moon, Dan Pastorini, Earl Campbell. They were really good in the they won the first 2 AFL titles. Not that counts for this shit, but we'll go with the Titans. Why not? You got to pick somebody.
Yeah, it's that AFC South is terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so just for the history, I'm going with the Cardinals. For the final pick in the draft.
By history, just because they're old.
They won the 24 title.
100 years ago.
I don't even
47
know
title.
what y'all are like. What resource y'all are looking at for these? Oh, there it is. The pre-Super Bowl titles. Get out of here.
Yeah, they won 1924. Oh crap!
They were one of the best teams during the Great Depression.
Hang on, I hate to bust up the party here.
Oh,
Tim, are you here to give insights on the Cardinals' 1924 championship?
What town were they in at that point?
That was they would have been Chicago still, I believe.
Yeah. Do you think it was confusing when they were in St. Louis?
Well, haircut looking good, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
You are fresh. You're trying to look sexy for the live on
Jeff Carr
Saturday.
ain't got shit on you.
Actually, he just texted me.
Weird flex, bro.
Yeah.
See, now he's great clips Tim Daniel. You might be Walmart Jeff Carr. He's great clips Tim Daniel.
I like it. Well, I was getting set up for my show and saw you guys were still live, so I just wanted to pop in and say hello and interrupt this fiasco.
You're welcome to. You can have the last 2 picks of the draft. We have the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Which team do you want? Franchise the history of the franchise.
You get the past, present, and future.
I guess the Jaguars have been to 2 AFC title games, right?
I mean, but the Texans, I mean, you look at them present and future, though.
Yeah, I'll take anything with CJ Stroud over anyone else in the field. It's left over in the field.
Parker,
I do like Trevor Lawrence.
Sneaky note on Parker's Cardinals pick is that they lost the game, but one of the most entertaining Super Bowls of all time.
I don't want to hear about the Super Bowl, Nate.
They got screwed. They got absolutely screwed.
I forgot they were in that Super Bowl against the Steelers. Honestly.
Yeah, they got absolutely. The refs, Fix was in.
Did they make an AFC title game too with Carson Palmer? I believe.
Yeah, they made. What year was that?
They lost by like.
Rodgers, it was
the year versus the Panthers, and they lost by like 50. I believe that's what happened.
Yeah.
I believe they lost by like 50. It was terrible.
Let's see.
All right,
we'll
that's
look that up real quick.
Fun. So, Tim, I got a question for you, man. What you got going on this weekend, buddy?
Just a live show with my friends.
Cool people are going to be there. Not cool people are going to be in North Florida or North Texas.
Yeah, we're gonna be at Smoke Justice, eating delicious food and drinking delicious bourbon.
I'm so jealous.
And
little breakfast bourbon.
Yeah,
yeah. I looked at their brunch menu already, and I'm drooling.
Put some OJ. Put some OJ in that bourbon. Make a little Barbosa.
There you go.
Well, I guess one will be showing up in my Bronco. But
we don't let Joe talk about OJ.
The other OJ.
The Riverfront.
What? Too soon?
No.
Too much. Not too soon. Too much. If you're wondering what we're talking about, just go look at the @JFarfC 1980s Twitter.
No, he did that one for the Bengals account. Even worse. Especially considering our new sponsor that we're going to be having setting up with you in the near future.
Joe might need to use them.
Might need to sanitize some of the feed, or leave it on just like to show personal growth. We have we have growth.
This is what Joe did before BetterHelp. This is who he is now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go have dinner before I do the happy hour tonight with Parker. So, we just want to drop in and say hi, guys. Love your show. Long time, first time.
Go Suns.
Are we talking free agency? Are we talking who? Klay Thompson going to deliver the Mavericks the title?
No.
Bronny
signing, but
I'm just kidding. That's like one of the only names that I know outside of like huge contracts for guys. How did the Celtics have the two biggest contracts in NBA history at the same time? That's crazy.
Luxury tax. You have you have the bird rights on them. You can pay them if you already had them. So,
True.
And then,
Hi, fellas.
Interesting.
I'll see you guys.
See you, buddy.
say hello.
Thanks for dropping in.
Well, that was fun.
That
I
was
missed
good.
him. I haven't seen him in a while. I'll see him. We'll see him on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get you both on there for a get Parker on there too. Let's do a Reds draft soon. Sponsored by SeatGeek.
I don't have any $20. I don't have any baseball. Yeah, I'm free to do them now. You've asked me on a couple times, and I've had baseball, which sucks. But we're good now. So anyway,
baseball, the sport doesn't suck. Joe is
baseball,
coaching
baseball.
baseball.
Speaking of baseball, Reds are up 3-0.
Reds are up 3-0. Stu Fairchild
hit a homer.
Also, the Yankees have been just struggling the last like 2 weeks. I think they've lost like 7 out of their last 10 or something like that. They've really
I think it's 7 out of 10 coming into this series. It was ugly. Ellie just hit one to a player.
You hate to see
the game yesterday. That Ellie game yesterday was so much fun to watch. All right, should we recap these squads?
How about we just recap the first 3 rounds because the last are crap. No, we'll go through them here. And I'll put this up on. I'll put a graphic up on social media here to let the let the public vote who had the best draft. First round, obviously. Parker had the Patriots, Cowboys for me, Steelers, Niners for Nate, Packers
Hold on
for
a
me.
second.
Giants.
This is far too confusing. Let's just roll off your 10 teams.
Yeah, it's more fun to go this way to screw everyone up.
Fair enough.
All right, Parker, go through your picks.
All right, so first round, I took the Patriots. Second round, I took the Giants, I believe.
You did.
it's hard to keep up with who I took. The Giants, I believe. Yeah, I mean.
It took the Cardinals, the Jaguars.
I took the Cardinals.
Yes.
No, I didn't take the Jaguars. I took the Cardinals, the Commanders.
Dolphins.
Eagles.
Yeah, you got the Eagles.
I did share the
Jets,
documents that I have with all you guys all the names.
The Jets, the Buccaneers, and then I don't know. I think that's 7. I don't know what my last 3 picks were. I'm blanking.
Ooh.
Oh, the Browns. Bengals was 9.
Yeah.
And then who was my 10th pick?
Your last pick with the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 1947 World War II champions.
Heck yeah.
yeah.
So about your Commanders, this is your pick. So Parker, you get to answer this one. Joey Gaditza, is he allowed to get excited about Jaden Daniels? Perhaps the chance Brandon Ayuk if he doesn't work out in Frisco.
I think Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, was a great pick in the draft. I definitely think he might be the best quarterback prospect in the draft. I think he has a lot of upside. So I would definitely be excited about Jaden Daniels. And I mean, if you guys could get Brandon Ayuk, obviously I would be extremely excited if I was you. A really nice receiver to pair next to Terry McLaurin. So I'd be hyped.
If they could get Ayuk to pair next to Scary Terry, that's pretty good. That's a hell of a nice setup for rookie quarterback. And again, we've been saying that all along that we thought Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the draft. So
would Scary Terry be like on a Hall of Fame pace if he was drafted to any other team, like with an actual quarterback? He's put up 1,000-yard years every year with no quarterback, pretty much.
Exactly.
I'm zagging on this Jaden Daniels thing. I think he's going to be garbage. I think he's maybe the 4th best quarterback in the draft. He had the best receivers. He was the oldest. Everything was tailor-made for him in college. He's gonna get hurt like week 3. He's Bryce Young 2.0.
What's funny is
it should have taken Drake May. No, I'm just kidding, Joey. It's vibes are trending up for the Commanders for the first time in a long, long time. So have a good time with that. Enjoy that. It's gonna be fun for you.
They're out of the shadow of Dan Snyder. So Real quickly, my picks. I had the Cowboys, Packers, Ravens, Bears, Colts, Vikings, Seahawks, Dirty Birds, Lions, and Titans.
And Bears.
I know I win.
Oh my. All right,
Nate?
here's a real squad. Steelers, 49ers, Chiefs, Broncos, Rams, Raiders, Saints, Bills, Chargers, Panthers. I really only have one team that is gross, and that's the Panthers. Every other team, you look at them, you're like,
The Chargers are gross.
They're not gross. They're not pretty.
They're historically pretty bad. They're always that team that they're like, every year, they're this close. They're going to go 11-5, and they go 5-11.
Yeah.
But when you think about the Chargers, you don't go, ugh, like you do with the Cardinals.
True.
Sorry, Park.
That is true. I think you have the most Super Bowl. Looking at trying to add up the Super Bowls, I think you've got the beaten number of Super Bowl victories. So you got that.
We'll let the people decide.
So outside of that, any final parting thoughts for our draft? This went on probably too long. This would have been better if we only had to pick 8 teams and let someone else pick the. We would have had to pick all 32. We wouldn't have been able to pass on the last 2, but
I wouldn't have known that the Cardinals won Super Bowls or championships in the 20s and 40s if we hadn't
done this podcast.
They've been in two cities since then and changed their name 3 times. So,
so the top 5 food stadiums: Eagles 1, Texans 2. So a little value pick there. Somebody would have tried to get in there. Cowboys 3.
Carlos is helping out on that one.
I had a brisket sandwich. Like they have a whole crew sitting there just slicing brisket at the rodeo at the Cowboys Stadium, and it was legit. We got the Saints 4 and Kansas City 5. Get out of here. I got another top 5 food team. I just worked you guys in this draft.
Basically, they like barbecue. Whoever's ranking these likes barbecue.
Yeah, fair
Agreed.
enough.
Hey, Nate, what else is going on around the Riverfront this week outside of this super awesome live show we've got going on at Smoke Justice?
Well, let's not just gloss over that. We can keep talking about that. That's going to be an awesome time, man. You guys are going to hold it down over there. I'm really jealous. Wish I could join. Super stoked that Steve Offenbaker and Jeff Carr from Locked On Reds are going to be there as well. The food's good. The people are gooder. So go hang out with those guys and then go watch the game after them. I think there might be some giveaways in the mix. There could be some free ticks in the mix. But you got to go. You got to go to find out. Other than that, man, we got the Riverfront Reds Show. We are taking this week off because of the live show for one. And then tomorrow when we usually record happens to be America's Independence Day. It is the anniversary of the Statue of Liberty being born from Mrs. Liberty.
Is that a big day, like in the country? Is that a big It's 4th of July, a big day?
It's it ranks right up there with Boxing Day and
it's close to Canada Day. It's almost as cool as Canada Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't blow shit
the
up as well as we do, though.
That's true. We got the NBA live show. I mean, you also doing happy hour too.
Yeah.
Sometimes the happy hour is rad. The new logo is dope. So a lot to catch up on there with the NBA free agency. Late Night Reds every Sunday. Tim and Ben are just crushing it out there. So much fun. We've got a great crowd tuning into those games. And then our guy, Seth Shaner, over at Red Leg Roundtable. He just launched another one today where he had on Reds broadcasters Matt Andrews and Jim Kelch.
Plus, he actually filled in with an episode of Riverfront U. He had Mike Waxman of College Football Focus to preview UC Bearcats and then a bunch of lesser schools in the area, like that school up in Columbus and that Catholic school over in Indiana and some other schools that are regionally, somewhat relevant. So
hard-working man.
Parker, any final thoughts before we let you get out of here and go talk some NBA hoops ball?
Just come out to the live show on Saturday. I'll be there outside of Nate because he's in Texas, but we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be fun, and I'm excited to talk some more football, talk some baseball, whatever. Have some fun.
Absolutely, Nate. Thank you for coming and joining us here. Had fun with you. Any parting words of wisdom for the crowd?
Thank you for having me on. I feel like after this just thrashing I gave you two, it'll be a while before I'm invited back. So I made use of my time. No, it's super fun. I am excited about this football season. Being down here in Dallas, the Bengals are coming to town this year, so we'll see if we can make anything happen there. And other than that, just stay classy, Cincinnati.
You're gonna have to do a live. You're gonna do a little live bump or something for us down there. Even if you don't go to the game, just go out to the tailgate and talk to some Bengals fans for us. So.
I'll do a YouTube short after every beer I drink.
There you go.
And we'll see how long it takes us to get kicked off YouTube.
If I'm still on, then they've got a pretty high threshold.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, guys. Have fun tomorrow. Be responsible. Don't blow anything up. Don't explode any. Come back with all your digits on Friday because fireworks are dangerous, but
get hammered.
It's still fun as hell. Get hammered and let someone else blow their digits off. So, all right, guys.
Go America.
We'll see you all next week. Thanks for hanging with us.
See you guys.